like your room back there. It looks nice, man.
Oh, thanks, man. I like your
Yeah.
room. I like all those skate decks. That looks
Oh, I
good.
got them. Yeah, I get. Yeah, the whole room has them, dude. They're everywhere.
I got like a couple of POD skate decks. I
Oh
collect
yeah,
all music ones, you know.
yeah, that's cool. One
Do
of
they give?
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have. No, not in here. Down in my where all my plaques are and stuff. I got all the POD skateboards.
Oh, that's cool, man.
Yeah, the only
All
one I
right.
didn't have somebody. I was in a pad one time, or what, and they took the fundamental elements one. So I just have the satellite one, and I have the one with blindside and POD, payable on death and blindside, but I don't have the fundamental one. Yeah,
Oh, I have one of those. Yeah, I think I got one. When the
yeah, I have
fundamental.
I have I have all the POD plaques. The only one I don't have, I think, is like Scorpion King.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
We got like a one for that. What which is funny because we walked in our old manager's office and we're
Hmm.
like, "What the heck is up with that Scorpion King, bro?" He's like, "Oh yeah, do you guys want one?" I was like, "That'd be nice."
Yeah, you should,
That's funny.
dude. Hey, if I find the POD skate deck, I'll send you one, man. Because I think I have one somewhere around.
Oh really?
The
Yeah,
fundamental ones.
yeah. The
Yeah,
fundamental one's the one. Like somebody took it from me or something. I
that
gave a
sucks,
whole.
man.
Yeah, that's the one. But I have all the other ones, so it's cool.
Well, dude, man, thank you for being on the podcast. This is awesome.
Right on. Thanks for
Wuv.
having me, man. Cool.
Do you so your friends call you Noah, or like what do you prefer to be called? Noah or Wuv or
Uh, everybody who really knows me calls me Wuv. Yeah, just people like
that's
in
awesome.
school, like when I was in school, people would call me by my real name Noah. But
How'd you
Wov's been my name just as long as Noah's been pretty much too.
when did you decide to change your when did you decide to get a nickname like that? It's cool. I love it.
Uh actually it was actually me and Sonny's grandmother, our grandmother. She was from Italy. Our mothers were born in Italy. Our grandmother Arnoni was born in Italy, and she had like a very strong accent when she came, to America. And having my mother, at a young age, and my mom being so young, having me, my Noni's accent was still strong. So when she would say love, it sounded like Wuv. So that's how I got my name. So everybody started calling me Wuv. She started calling me Wuv, and it just kind of like morphed into my name.
So I don't want to date this episode, but I mean, I'm sure you heard the news. Like OJ Simpson, right, passed
I
away.
did. Yeah, I was just watching it on the news right now. Yeah, before I
Where were
came
you?
in.
Do you remember where you were when you saw him? Like driving the Bronco or whatever. The white.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I was like, that was 1994.
Right.
So I graduated high school in 91. So we were already, POD was already kind of semi touring. You know what I mean? We were in and out, like doing shows like nonstop. Um, but yeah, I do remember watching that chase down in LA. It was nuts.
Yeah.
Crazy. That's crazy yeah, he's passed now.
Yeah, man, it's definitely wild. And how's your day
Mhm.
going? You live in San Diego, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. San Diego. Day's
Weather's
awesome.
like perfect all the time.
Man, we've been getting some good rain, which we need, but it's clearing up. So now, like this last week, like literally, it's been like picture perfect. It's awesome.
That's awesome, man. We get in the South, we get pollen. Do you guys get like some kind of like
Yeah, yeah, we get that.
version of that?
I
Yeah.
I I never really have a big problem with that. My sister and my wife, like as soon as like there's pollen in the air, bro, like they're freaking getting destroyed. You know what I mean? And I'm like, what's going on? Let's go for a run. Like I don't, I don't get any of that.
I'm sorry.
No, they're totally
You
getting
know what?
destroyed. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm good. I don't know what's up. I got lucky with that, I guess.
Dude, I wonder if that's like being on the road, you've like gotten used to different, places and that just doesn't mess with you anymore. I can imagine traveling. You probably get sick different places you go.
You know what? See, that's another thing, man. Knock on wood. I've toured this planet, 20 times. I like to say, like my Uncle Joe used to say, you know what I mean? I'm like a cockroach for some reason, dude. I don't get sick. A nuclear bomb can go off and I'll still arise from the ashes. Like, what's going on, guys?
That's awesome.
Yeah. So,
Did you get COVID at all? Did you pass
I
that?
got
Did
COVID,
you?
bro, but I didn't know I had it. My wife got it. She got destroyed. She was out for a week. Then, it's funny because then I had to go on tour and I had to leave like the second day she was in, which I felt awful about. She was like, I'm fine, just go ahead, do your thing. I left on tour with the P.o.d guys, came back, she was healed up, and then like maybe like a couple months down the road, I got it. But literally, like my eyeballs were hurting for a little bit, and then I said, hey, I think I got COVID. I got a test. I was positive. My wife made me kick it out in the garage with a couch and my TV out in my garage. So I kicked it out there. And then the next day I felt like $1 million. I was fine. I mean, I stayed away, but I was like, that's the only thing that really happened to me. But yeah, it didn't really hit me that hard.
Man, I was listening to I've been listening to a lot of Stillwell, and I've seen this video before, but the Beastie Boys tribute video you
Okay.
guys did, Rock the House.
Yeah.
It's a great song, but amazing video. I mean,
Oh,
probably
cool.
back in the day, Whose
We
idea was
did
that?
that. Yeah, because okay, so the original on the record is completely different. It's more rock, but then on that record that we did, like we did a remix of all the songs. So we did
Oh
each
yeah.
song twice. You know what I mean? So that one was like Q's idea is like, let's take it back. Let's pay homage to the Beastie Boys. And we actually shot that video in like Fieldy's backyard.
Oh, okay. I thought
It
it was a
already had the
park or
tree.
something.
Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
it's like literally we walked from his pad. Like he lives in Laguna Hills. There's a bunch of trees everywhere, and we're like, oh, this is perfect, dude. All we gotta do is point the camera up, and boom, we got the same Beastie Boys video, and just try to mimic the colors or whatever. That's what we did.
The colors look dead on too, man. I mean,
We
it looked
tried.
very similar.
It's funny because Q's son was shooting all the videos for us during that time, and he actually reached out to the director of the video and asked him, "Hey, how did you get those colors like that?" And the director's like, "I ain't gonna tell you that."
No way.
Yeah, for real.
You said that after all these years?
He gave it a shot. He gave it a shot. It didn't work, but you know what I mean. He made it work himself.
Oh, it may have worked. Did you guys like watch the video and like try to dress just like each guy? Like
Yeah, try to get it
yeah,
as close. We're just having fun, man. We're like, you know
yeah.
what? Oh, he was wearing that. He was wearing this. Okay, you wear that. You know, yeah, just having fun.
I grew up like a huge POD fan, but I love Stillwell. I love like you guys are awesome. Even going on YouTube, you got so much videos. I mean,
Yeah,
I love it. I love watching videos. Do you guys
yeah,
love
that's
making
cool.
them?
Yeah, we do, man. Like you know, me and Phildy, we're like old retired guys now. Kind of, we just kind of chill in the cut, but like we get together like twice a week. Like I go up to his house a couple times a week, and the rest of the band does it. It's like the rest of the guys live in like L.A., a little more north of where he lives, and then some live a little more east, and I live south. Like I'm like with no traffic, I'm like 45 minutes away from Fieldy, so try to get up there a couple times a
That's
week.
cool.
And we just jam and write music and do videos and just be a band and kick it, have fun.
Yeah, man. Do you and
Yeah, it's
Fieldy
cool.
play like multiple instruments? Like, can you jump on the drums or you jump on
His
guitar?
When we first started Stillwell back in the day, this was like, I don't know, 2012 or something like that. He was playing guitar in the band. I guess he started
Mm,
even before Korn. He was a guitar player first,
yeah,
so
that's
he
right.
already kind of like knew how to play the guitar and he just kind of wanted to try, writing songs in the guitar. But he went back to the bass, so now he's on the bass. Yeah, he's like, I'll stick on the bass, guys. Like, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you got Q singing? He's got a great voice,
He's
man. He's
singing,
super
rapping.
cool.
We got a couple new additions coming up. We're kind of like changing, still was like we're always kind of evolving because you know what I mean? Like we were never really like a full band. It was just kind of like, I'd be on tour, Philly would be on tour with Korn, Q would be doing his hip hop stuff, and he lived in Brooklyn, at the time. Now he moved to during COVID, he moved down to California. But we were just kind of always just kind of putting it together, you know what I mean? Filling it out, seeing what the styles were gonna be. And we're still kind of in that development, like, you know what I mean? Figuring out like who Stillwell is. And we added another guitar player. His name's Jamie. He used to play in a band called Droid, which is cool. They
Oh
did
yeah.
they did a bunch of international touring, the Deftones and all that kind of stuff. And then there's a guy that we're working with now. His name is Rob, and he used to play in El Nino with El
No
Nino.
way. I love them. They're awesome.
Yeah, so now like our sound like now is even now it's like because we're writing heavier stuff. It's becoming more what it's supposed to be. You know what I mean? Which is cool. So
Dude,
the
I
last
cannot
like
wait. That's
yeah, dude,
amazing.
it's the last like month and a half, whatever, like everything's changed, and it's like, oh, cool, man, this is getting good. You know what I mean? So everybody's
Yeah.
excited, dude. So everybody gets together a couple times a week, and we're just putting songs and ideas in the pot, and we're even thinking about morphing our name into something different too. So,
Wow.
everybody that would know Stillwell, we're talking about like just like every once in a while a letter dropping off and a letter jumping on. So we're not, you know what I mean? We're not going to lose all
Yeah.
the traction that we've done over the years. But we look at it like, hey, man, like nobody really knows this band that much, anyways. It's kind of been like our fun project. So, if it's starting to morph into something that's sounding more like us, let's morph the name into something like that too, or whatever. So we're just brainstorming right now.
Oh, that's
It's
killer,
cool.
man. Would you entertain the idea of taking this on tour and stuff and kind of
Oh yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, like Stillwell, we just did a cool show. 3 shows in Vegas. It was for the Mint 400. It's a big off-road race it's huge. And we have some of our friends in this band called Bias.
Bias. I know. Yeah. That's David played drums in
Yeah,
that band for a minute. Yeah.
yeah, he did. And then so now my buddy plays drums for them now. He was in Head PE. I'm forgetting his name now. So yeah, we did it. We just did a couple shows in Vegas a couple weeks ago, and that was dope. But now we're just more like in the writing stage now, just seeing what we come up with.
Vegas is cool. Have you ever thought about living out there, or is it more convenient staying
Oh,
in San Diego?
Vegas is definitely a 3-day max for me. Yeah. 3-day max for me. I
I'll probably the same.
I grew up going to Vegas, since I was, even a teenager. And 3 days is plenty for me. We can drive there. We normally we fly because it's only like a 30-minute flight from San Diego. But if you wanted to drive there, it's like 4 hours. It's nothing. It's a nice road trip too.
Oh yeah, that's great, man.
Yeah.
Growing up, man, you've been playing drums pretty much your whole life, right? I mean, was it? Didn't your dad play drums, and
Yeah.
that's how you started?
Yep. I've been playing probably like, knowing how to play like a beat and knowing what to do around the kit since I was probably like 5. Enough to where like people would like, or my dad and people in my family would brag about it and like bring other people to watch me play like in front of like family gatherings and stuff like that. You know what I mean? That's what I
Yeah,
remember.
that's cool, man.
So
Because I know, like,
so
yeah,
when if you can remember that, it's like, ooh, that was young. Yeah, I've been playing for a minute.
yeah, that's cool because you had it around you. Like a lot of
Mhm.
people start with like pots and pans, but you had a father that had the drums there.
Yeah,
I got
yeah,
kids
that
that
was
look at my
great.
drums like it's furniture or something. That's cool that you
I
like.
see
You're like, I'm gonna play.
your kit behind it, and it looks
Yeah,
nice. You
thanks,
had the
dude.
chair blocking it, so I couldn't see the
I
whole
know,
thing. I was
man.
like,
Yeah,
but
it's a spawn kit. Yeah.
the ride, I see the ride side, the ride symbol side. That looks good. Yeah, it looks
Oh,
nice.
thanks, man.
Nice.
Yeah, I appreciate that, dude. What when your dad played drums, like what drum sets did he use? I mean, did he use anything fancy
My
or just
dad, the best kit my dad ever had was an old like Rogers kit, like a Maple Rogers kit, old school. It was like 10-piece, like a 10-piece, um,
oh, that's cool.
pecan colored like Gretsch that took over the whole freaking living room. That's the only place my dad could put it. It was in the living room.
Was it?
Like it was the TV, boom, and the drums. It was madness. It was crazy. But you got to remember back then, my dad was young, dude. We're talking, my mom and dad had me when they were 14, 15.
Whoa.
My dad was 16. So by the time I was that age, my dad was barely hitting his 20s. Like he was in party mode. So they threw
Mm.
parties at the house. I remember my old house having plywood on the floors. They had so many parties because they didn't
Really?
want to ruin the carpet from the landlords.
Oh,
And the
dude.
kit would be in there. And then in the garage, and then eventually my dad got in this band. It was called Cold Cash. They played a bunch of AC/DC covers and all that kind of
Oh,
stuff
cool.
back in the day. And actually, you know who was in his band? He played in a band called Teaser with Jakey Lee.
Oh, Jakey Lee. Wow.
And then Jakey Lee went on to do Ozzy Osbourne, and then he did
Yeah.
Badlands.
Whoa, that's amazing.
Yeah, so
Do
my
you, do
dad
you
used to
have
play
any
with
of
him.
this? Does he have like any like you have an
My
album
dad?
or anything?
Oh,
Yeah.
my dad, yeah, he's got, my dad played in an old band called Deer Crossing. It's on vinyl.
Oh,
It's
cool.
crazy. Yeah, I think he had one and he gave it to my middle son. So my middle son's got his vinyl. He only had one.
He didn't give it to you. Yeah, that's funny.
He didn't give it to me. He gave it to one of my sons.
Dude, it'd be cool if you could upload that to like YouTube or something.
Yeah,
I don't
I
know if
might.
that's
I might check
possible.
it. I might even check it out to see. It might even be on there. I'm not even sure. And then
So
my
you s
dad played in a
yeah.
band called Battalion of Saints. It was an old punk band.
Oh, cool, man.
Yeah,
So
old
he had
school.
he diverse, you know, like,
Yeah.
listen to different
Oh, yeah.
things.
But he was a metalhead, you know what I mean? He was a rock and roller, hair down to his knees, the whole 9.
When my kids, I got a 12 and almost or 11, almost 13-year-old, they don't listen to what I listen to. When you were growing up, did you listen to what your dad listened to, or were you trying to, like, separate and,
No,
"No, I don't wanna
totally.
listen to you." Yeah.
I listen to rock. I was a classic rock, Led Zeppelin, anything in the classic rock world, AC/DC, Led Zeppelin, Van Halen, The Cars, The Police. You know, my first concert
Oh,
was
yeah.
Jefferson Airplane. Me and Sonny, our aunt, took us to go at the where the it used to be called Jack Murphy Stadium, where the Chargers used to play and the Padres. Our first concert was rock concert was Jefferson Airplane. Yeah, not even Starship, Jefferson Airplane.
Oh,
That's
cool.
old. Yeah.
Dude, what year was that? Do you remember? That's amazing.
80, probably like around 80,
80,
1980.
yeah, yeah, that's like when I was born, dude.
Yeah.
That's so
Because
cool.
84, our aunt ended up marrying the reggae DJ here in San Diego for 91X. His name was Damaj Ali. And then we just started getting into reggae music. Me and Sonny, we just started really getting into reggae music at that time. Rap and like reggae music.
But did you
Still
guys
love the
how'd you
rock, but then you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
once it started getting into like the hairband stuff
Mhm.
and all the makeup, I kind of started dropping off because I like the old school. I liked a few, I liked the first like Motley Crue records, and then then it was just Metallica after that. You know what I mean?
Oh,
I was,
yeah.
and I had a little Def Leppard in me. I liked a little Def Leppard till they started going Poor Sugar on me and all that kind of stuff. Pyromania, I was into.
Yeah, they're like the British wave of new metal or new rock or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And then it was after it started getting a little too like spandexy and stuff for me. Then I went straight reggae.
This is like how when did you discover, Bad Brains? Because it seems like that
Ooh,
you're destined.
that was my buddy Saul in ninth grade for me. So what year would that be? Phew, I couldn't even do the math on that.
Right, that's all good.
It's in the
Back
80s,
in the
dude.
day.
Mid 80s,
Yeah, dude.
somewhere around there.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
Bad Brains, man. That's so cool.
Did
Did
you
you guys
know
Yeah.
did you know a band called 24/7 Spies?
No, no.
Oof. So we
I'm gonna
discovered
add that. Yeah.
Bad Brains and 24/7 Spies at the same time. And that band is out of control, man. They're from New York.
Dude, I gotta check that out. That's cool.
All black members except for the drummer. He was white.
Oh, yeah?
Yep. So then it was like Bad Brains, the all black punk band, and then this all black like rock like heavy band with just the white drummer, but the lyrics were dope. The riffs were dope. It was sick.
Oh,
Yeah.
that sounds sick, dude.
Yeah. Check them out. 24/7 Spies.
I would definitely do that. I'm gonna add links. That's
Mhm.
really cool. So when you guys started jamming together, and then you before Sunny, right? Wasn't it just you and Marcos,
Yeah.
or yeah?
Yeah. For a while, it was just me and Marcos. We had a band. It wasn't even called POD. We had another bass player. His name was Gabe. And we actually had another guitar player that ended up passing away. Um, just on a
Mm.
freak accident like that. And then we started like transitioning the band. Marcos was kind of like playing and singing. We were doing shows for our friends and stuff like that. But we wanted to switch it up because started hearing like the styles out there, and we're like, well, I think we're more like kind of like this more rap like heavy type of feel, you know what I mean? And it started going around. They're like, anybody who raps? And I'm like, my cousin, he's in a rap group, but he never really performed, and he wasn't really like into like, you know what I mean? Sonny was shy. He was super
Yeah,
shy. Like,
yeah. I've heard. Yeah.
everybody knew that. Everybody knew that. Even Marcos knew that. He's like, dude, Sonny's super shy, dude. Like, I don't know if that'll work. I'm all, no, but he's good, dude. Like, we'll check it out. You know what I mean? Let's give it a shot. And at that time, Sonny's mother and my aunt had passed away, and it was a good kind of, you know, bridging the, just keeping him busy, Sonny busy. And I thought it would be a good opportunity, you know what I mean, for him to have something to do instead of like, you know, um, constantly thinking about the passing of his mom and my aunt. And so it just worked out. You know what I mean? We asked them, we gave it a shot, uh, and we started writing songs. It was like instant. You know what I mean? I think me and
Yeah.
Sonny, we were working for my dad at the point doing construction, and we had to go up to Fresno, California to go do a job for my dad. So we were staying there for like a week or something like that. And we wrote the first POD song, like, you know what I mean? Ever, you know what I mean? Like together, you know what I mean? Just as with Sonny as the front man and
What song
Marcos.
was that? What was the first song you guys wrote together?
Uh it was on a Snuff the Punk demo. It'd probably be oh my gosh, dude. Let me think about it while we're
Oh,
talking.
that's all
Yeah.
good. What made you guys, like, being that age, what made you guys like, "Hey, we're gonna sing about God here," you know what I mean? Like, we're not gonna, like I mean, I don't know if you're singing about God right off the bat, but, some of your earlier stuff, especially live, what
Yeah,
made
I
you
think
decide to go that route?
we kind of decided early on as like a unit that like we wanted to be a band that like stood for something instead of just being like having fun and being corny and you know what I mean, quirky and you know what I mean. That's not really like anybody's personality in the band. Like nobody's. So if we're gonna do it, like might as well like talk about like things that like are being a part of our lives. And at that moment, at that time, I think we as young men, um ha- going through like trials and tribulations and stuff like that was happening to us. And I think at the forefront of our joy and our mind was God, you know what I mean? Having peace um in the midst of chaos, you know what I mean? For us,
Yeah.
especially for Sonny, you know what I mean? Losing
Yeah,
like,
losing his mom.
having my yeah, losing his mom at she was 36. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Yeah.
Um that was hard. So that gave him something to speak about, you know what I mean? And I think during that time, you know what I mean, his my aunt and our family was constantly sharing with us like, it's going to be all right. Like God's in control. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
your mother has a relationship with Christ. Like, and at that point, Sonny wasn't really into it. You know what I mean? He wasn't a religious dude. Neither was I. I mean, kind of, but really, I didn't really know like how to have a real relationship or you know what I mean with Christ or whatever, anything like that. So we are all in the learning phase, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
And um, and it has been the whole time. And I think, as records went on and as life went on, the more experiences you have, the more you see that things are real this way and certain things aren't this way. Maybe God's more real to you even more so, but the church is getting not so real to you. And you know what I
Mhm.
mean? And you're just figuring out where you fit in and what works for you. You know what I'm saying? And I think so from record to record, we kind of have those songs that like speak about those kind of things.
Oh,
But God,
man. Yeah.
he's always in the center, and I've always loved that about POD. I've always loved that
Yeah.
about my cousin. He comes with some sick lyrics, man, and I'm always stoked at what he puts on.
I hear you, man. I love it. And how this is a POD, payable on death. Who came
Mhm.
up with that
Actually, I did through my ex-wife. She used to work at a bank, and me at the time, me and Marcus were like, dude, we didn't want a one word band because like Metallica, Slayer, everybody was kind of like in that vein, and so my ex-wife at the time was like, "What about payable on death?" And I'm all, "Payable on death? What does that
Whoa.
mean?" She's like, "It's a banking term, and like somebody who dies, they get the benefit." And I was like, "Oh, that's freaking awesome, dude! That's like payable on death, like Christ died for our sins." And I brought it to the band. I go, "Hey, what about payable on death? POD. We can do it both ways, payable on death or just POD. That looks cool too." And everybody voted. And we said, "Cool, that's it." So we went for it. It's
Oh, that's
POD ever
killer,
since.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I love that. Growing up, my brother was, always into music, but he listened to a lot of Christian music, and some of it I
Mhm.
liked and some of it I didn't. And at the time, I was really big into Korn and Deftones,
Mhm.
that new metal sound, and my brother
Mhm.
brought me, Brown, and he's like, "Hey, dude, I think you'll like this."
Oh,
And
okay.
that's when we first really bonded, him and I was like, "Dude, I
That's a
love
good record.
this," you know? I'm
I
not
love that
comparing you
record.
guys to them, but I'm just
Yeah,
saying, "Know Me," that first song, man, oh, man, what
yeah.
a raw album.
It's funny. It was a couple years during COVID when we did our online concert at the Petco Park where the Padres played. They,
Yes.
they let us do it.
Yeah, I
We
saw
did
that.
3 records in one night.
Whoa.
What was it, 3 records? No, we did 3 shows, right, in one
Mhm.
night, but one of them was, like, we learned, like, the complete Brown record, which we hadn't played in, like, over 20 something years, dude, like, seriously.
Wow.
Like, we hadn't played any of those songs. And then we did a medley of, like, Fundamental, Payable on Death, a whole bunch of other ones, and then we did Satellite all on its own. So there was a bunch of stuff going on in our heads, dude. Like, we had to rehearse, like, a month straight every day, hours, just, like, trying to learn, and we had to do everything in a certain amount of time because we can only have Petco Park with the
Yeah.
lights on, like, for the evening. They're like, dude, because they were gonna charge us like 40 grand to turn the lights on. We're like, come on now.
Wow. That's
And
crazy, Bill.
they're like, they ended up, they're like, we'll hook you guys up. You guys are P.o.d, San Diego's band. And we're like, thank you, okay.
Yeah.
But we still had to learn all them songs, like, and do it all in one evening. So that was
How,
rough, man, but it was cool.
how nervous do you get, man, when you got to play a show like that? And play all these old songs that you're,
That was
practicing?
fun, dude, because it was just the band and this big old baseball or stadium with the lights on. All the city couldn't come in, but they were all, like,
Yeah.
around the streets watching us. And then they had us on the big screens and everything, and just, like, our immediate family and friends were allowed to do it. So it was kind of like a living room party for us. It was cool, and the sound sounded dope. We had the bomb system. We had the, like, 10 cameras. It was awesome. I love playing that show. That was cool.
Can people go back and watch that? Where is that
Yeah,
available? Like,
yeah, on YouTube.
yeah.
Just look
YouTube.
it up.
Okay, I think I saw a clip of it, but I didn't see the whole thing like what you're
Yeah,
saying.
it's
That's
great.
awesome.
I loved it.
So is that how you guys were assigned to Atlantic Records, right? Is that how they
Mhm.
discovered you from the Brown album? Did they get wind of
Yeah,
that?
we were on my dad's label, Rescue Records, for the first couple of records, and then we were trying to work our way up to, like, get recognized. Jive Records was looking at us. Atlantic Records was looking at Tommy Boy Records was looking at us. But the one thing that my dad had always told us is, like, you guys are gonna keep your publishing, dude. Like, no way you're gonna sell your publishing off. So, and we didn't even know what the heck that meant. We're just like, sell your publishing off. What do you mean? Like, you know what I mean? He's like, your song
Mhm.
rights, dude. Like, even then you think, is our song gonna really even be worth anything? Like, are we gonna blow up? Or you don't think about that kind of stuff. You're just like, yeah, man, like, we'll be happy to get our records out, like, at Warehouse Records or Tower Records back then.
Sounds like your
So,
dad really helped you guys getting
oh,
your foot off the ground.
big time, man, big time. He did. Um, he got us our first manager. He hunted down, and then with that first manager, he got us our first lawyer, which is the one that got us signed to Atlantic Records, and getting, like, the deal points that we wanted. You know what I'm saying? Because we'd already been a
Mhm.
band for a long time. We've already been touring for 6-7 years already around across the country. So,
Yeah.
we weren't like in a rush. We were in a hurry, but we weren't in a rush. Like, we knew what we wanted. We knew what we wanted. And so it was important for whatever label that signed us, that they gave us, like, what we needed to have to get the job done, you
Were
know.
you guys touring around like in a van? Or like what
Mhm.
describe that? Is it just
We
you
had a
guys
van.
in
We had a
you
at
spot?
first, at first we bought a van, freaking loaded up in it, got to Arizona, boom, the engine blew up.
Mm.
So my dad was on tour with us. He's like, you guys stay here. A couple of the band stays back here in Kingman, Arizona. A couple of the guys, we're gonna get a ride back to San Diego. We're gonna pick up 2 of our cars. So my dad brought his Ford Explorer. We had a trailer, and then a couple of our other buddies went and got their trucks. And so we did, like, 3 weeks and, like, 3 different vehicles all the way back to Chicago. Like, freaking just, like, we did. Yeah, it was freaking crazy. Went through some crazy storms, and then from then on, saved up money. We got a conversion van. We started touring it. We had our own van. Then we had a motorhome. We did that for years, and then until we got signed to Atlantic, and then yeah, then the shows were getting bigger, and we were able to support ourselves in a bus, which was actually, we split it with Project 86, our first tour bus.
Oh yeah. I used to
We
love
took
them.
Project
Yeah.
86 out, and we're like, let's half this bad boy. We'll both get on the bus. That's 12 bunks in there. If both our bands can pitch in, we can get a bus. So us and Project 86 got our first bus together.
Yeah, you know, your live album, I remember listening I was listening to it again, I haven't heard it in a while, but I remember Sonny was like, "Project A6," like, he gave him a shout out on
Yeah.
the your live album. That's really cool, man.
Yeah, back in the day,
I
because we did a show in Cornerstone in Bushnell, Illinois. That's where we were getting to, and we met those guys there, along with the Blindside guys and all the Tooth and Nail guys, and
Ah, yeah, yeah.
you know, yeah, we started touring with a bunch of those bands, and that's how we would do it. We would team up with a bunch of cool, bands from across the country, and we would bring them to San Diego. They would bring us to where they're at, and we would patch together and sew together a freaking tour. You know what I mean? Bouncing across the country, not the best thing to do, but we made it happen, and we started making a following and for ourselves.
I wish they made, like, I know Tooth and Nail has a documentary about how they got started and everything, but I would love a documentary about what you just said, just that touring around in the early days like that.
Yeah,
That'd be cool, man.
yeah, I got a lot of footage of that kind of stuff. Actually, on our DVD, there's a lot of footage from, um, stuff that I filmed, in the motorhomes and all that kind of stuff. It's in there. We have a DVD called "Still Paying Dues." It came out a while ago,
Oh,
and
yeah, I think I've seen that. Yeah, yeah.
a lot of
Yeah, I
that
think I
touring, a lot of that touring stuff is in there.
right on, man. That's cool that you had a camera. That reminds me of, like, the Pantera guys always having cameras on,
I
so
did.
y
I
that's cool
that
you did
out of
that.
the out of the band, I was the only one that ever did it. I did all that kind of stuff. I wanted to document everything. So every
Yeah.
time it was time to go down in the archives, it's like, Wolf's got the footage. I'm like, I got it. I still got it too.
Yeah,
So it's
man,
good.
and
Yeah.
that's before everybody had a cell phone, so, like, people probably acted different when you had the camera because 'cause they're not used to, having the
Yeah.
camera in front of them all the
Yeah. I
time.
was holding around a big freaking one you put on your thing
Oh,
like this.
yeah?
Big
Yeah,
stepping in there. It was a dinosaur, dude. But he got
yeah.
the job done. And then I
There
eventually got the smaller one. It's like what are the 8 millimeter tapes, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, and you have a little flip screen, you can kinda I don't know.
Now everybody's got a professional, freaking IMAX camera right here. You're good to go.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, man, and you guys were, like, before, yeah, I'm sure people told you this a million times, but it's so cool that you guys were when people were buying albums, when people were buying music, CDs,
Yeah.
you were part of that. That's so
We got
cool, man.
we were like one of the last Mohicans to reap the benefits of that, you know what I mean? Like to sell millions of records, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
like hard copies. Now it's like, how much did you stream, bro? I'm like, whoa, you know. Yeah, we were
Yeah.
definitely one of the last bands to like, yeah, reap the harvest of like selling the hard copy, like, a fan could touch it, open the artwork up, check it out. You
Yeah,
know,
man.
I miss
Yeah, so
those. I
you
miss
guys
that.
had, like you had the I'm sorry, you guys had the Fundamentals, that was your first album, right? I mean, for Atlantic, right?
Yeah, for Atlanta, yeah. Fundamental.
Uh, yeah, yes, I'm trying to remember the name of the album, my mind just went blank.
Fundamental elements of Southtown.
Yes.
Yeah.
What was that? That seems like super professional album. I mean, was that like a did you have somebody over you on the drums, like, saying, like, "You gotta play to a click track," or was it
Yeah, that was
way
Howard
different?
Benson.
Howard
We got
Benson, yes.
Howard Benson produced that one, yeah, and we
What was it like
recorded
working
that.
with Howard?
Oh, he's freaking awesome, dude. He was coming up too. So he needed a big record, but he had already worked with Motorhead and like, who was it? Sepultura. He did Sepultura, he
Oh,
did Motorhead, he did, um, Zebrahead.
yeah, oh, I
uh
remember them, yeah.
Remember Zebrahead? So he
Yeah,
had
dude,
like
they
a
had the
little
one
bit of a
song.
resume, and we were kinda like, "That's cool." And he came in on the budget that we could spend on the record. I think, our first budget was like $1,000,000. That's for the whole record. That's like recording, mixing, mastering, video, you know what I mean? Like marketing, that's $1,000,000 for all that kind of stuff. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? It's not just recording, it's like the
it's
whole
tight,
package.
yeah.
Everything you need to do for this record, that's what you guys get. That's it. You know what I mean? So our video was like 100,000, which is a lot of money even today. But well, I mean, when you look up at like satellite, we're spending like $600,000 to do one video. Like I think a live cost us like $600,000.
God,
You know what I
it's
mean? Youth of the
insane.
Nation was like 400K. Boom was like 300. You know what I mean? We were spending like stupid amounts of money. You know,
Yeah, back when people bought music.
back
That's
when
really
people
good.
watch
Yeah,
videos like on
dude.
MTV. You know,
So you guys did Southtown, right? Was that your first one? Your first video? Was it
no,
Southtown?
Rock the Party.
Rock the Party. That was your first one. Okay, okay, got you.
Rock the Party was the first on Fundamental. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. So
Wait,
they
wait,
sent
wait,
it out
wait,
to yeah.
wait. Were you right? Was it Southtown?
I can't argue with you. You're in the band.
Dude, I'm trying to think which one came. I don't even remember. Maybe it was Southtown.
But those are your two, like, you had both those videos under 1 million. So you had, that's
Yeah.
pretty good, man. Full album, 2
And
videos.
Marco Siega did both those videos, and then he went on to go do Drexter.
Whoa. Wow,
Yeah.
that's cool.
A lot of the dudes that did our videos back in the day for cheap went on to go do like huge movies and like series.
Man, you
Well, I
got him
forget
just
the
in
guy who
time.
did we did the Little Nicky soundtrack. He did
Oh, yes.
the guy who did that one did all the like a couple Twilight movies and a whole bunch of other
Yeah,
big
that's
ones. And then we
huge.
had yeah.
And you guys worked with, well, I'm skipping ahead, but Katy Perry, right? Didn't you guys, like, record with
Yeah.
her a little bit?
Yeah.
And she
Katy
blew up,
Perry
you know?
was she was because we worked with Glenn Ballard,
Yeah.
and Glenn Ballard, she was underneath Glenn Ballard, and we were kind of like we were doing. He was producing our record in Hollywood, and one of the songs we're like, we need a female singer. He's like, dude, I got this girl. She's under my wing. Like I'm kind of grooming her, and she was hanging around the studio already. She was in there every day, just kind of like she would beep bop around, and like she was young. And he's like, let's put Katy Perry on there and see how she sounds. We're like, yeah, let's pop her on there. So she did it. We did the video, and then it became a single. She ended up doing like the TV shows with us, Jay Leno and a couple other ones. And
Yes,
then
that's on YouTube. Yes, I love
yeah,
that, man.
she
Goodbye
did
for
that.
now.
And then, dude, a couple years later, bada boom, bada bing. She's
Y
huge. You know what I mean?
Do you ever hear from her? Like, does she ever keep in contact with you guys?
I seen
I
her a
mean,
couple times
yeah.
after. You know what I mean? I actually met my wife at dinner. I was at dinner. We were going to dinner, like the band. We had just did a TV show. Katy Perry was with us. And then
Was that night? Yeah, because you
that
guys
night,
played with
my wife was our waitress.
Whoa, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
In Hollywood. It was on Hollywood Boulevard and like Vine. It was an Italian restaurant. The whole band was there, and I was like, "Who is that?" And I started talking to her from there. And Katy Perry was
Okay,
there.
oh,
So
man,
I always
that's
remember that.
cool.
I always remember that.
So you got a date right away? Like, do you play the card like, "I'm in a band," like,
No,
like,
no, it was
play
more
cool?
like we were just kind of because we were in Hollywood for a time doing a record and stuff, and it was kind of like I just asked her like, "Hey, do you know any reggae clubs like that play like reggae music?" And she's like, "Yeah, yeah, take my number down. I'll show you some." So we ended actually the whole band went to a reggae show, a reggae club, and she took us to a reggae club.
That night,
No, a couple nights later.
a couple nights later. Dude,
Yeah,
that's so cool, man. That's killer. You play late night show and then, meet your wife soon after.
yeah, that was nuts.
Yeah, dude. Look, I got the vinyl right here,
Oh,
the
nice,
satellite.
dude.
Yeah, man, this is
Right.
a huge record, dude. Especially with, like,
Um,
9/11 coming. I mean, that's, I know I'm just jumping to 9/11, but,
yeah,
that was a crazy time for you guys. I know a
yeah,
lot of bands weren't getting their songs were getting dropped, and you guys were
yeah,
skyrocketing, man.
yeah. That record was huge, man. We toured that record for like 5 years. That's crazy,
Dude,
nonstop, like the globe, like nonstop. As soon as you were
how many
back,
years? How many years you
at
said?
least 5 years. Yeah,
That could be a record, right? I mean,
yeah. That
that's a
was like
long time.
we're talking the world. So as soon as we get back from Europe, we do that because we started the Ozzfest, and then we did the Ozzfest. That's a couple months. Then we did our own tour when we took Lincoln Park out.
Oh,
We did the
wow,
satellite
yeah.
tour. Lincoln Park was opening up for us. Lincoln Park Head PE was opening up.
I
We
love
had
them.
we had a Blindside opening up. Um, that was like another couple months. Boom, we did all that, and then we did a couple other tours, and then we went back to Europe. We did a tour, a corn tour. We did that. Then we went back on our own to Europe. Then we dropped another single, and we just round robin it again. Just kept going. Yeah, it was
So
nuts.
so you have that is crazy, man. So the record companies just send you out everywhere. Do you have, like, just your tour manager must have been going crazy. Like, that
He
just
did go
seems
crazy.
so
I'm not
busy,
gonna
yeah.
mention his name.
Oh, did that sounds
A
like multiple people to do
lot
all
of
that, man.
casualties. A lot of casualties.
Yeah, I
No, it
bet.
was great. Our crew was great. We had a blast, and
It's
great memories, man.
perfect time because 'cause you're young too. I can imagine, like, being an old dude and trying to, like, tour for 5 years on one album.
That'd be tough for me today. Dang near impossible for me. You know what I mean?
How What was it like getting famous like that? I mean, did that mess with you, or did you just
It
yeah.
does. It just free it, at that point. Like I always tell people that really ask me that, like, I've been blessed enough to like lose my mind on tour, like party way too much. and forget about every single country and city that like we've been into. Like I got through, played the shows, never nothing like that, or reckless or anything like that. But like literally, like going back a few times, like I don't remember this place. You know what I mean? Just being that way to a place where I wouldn't even like drink or party on tour anymore, and I would just thank God that I was able to go back, that we were blessed enough to go back to the same country with a great fan base, and then like breathe in and like take in the city like with sober eyes, you know what I mean? And like a sober feeling, just like, oh my gosh, this is so gorgeous. So I've been blessed that way to be able to look at it that that way, in present and in hindsight, and then back in present again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, that was
So
good. Well said, man. That's
yeah,
cool.
so it's been cool and awakening to like see it like that and feel that way. And even now, like when I travel, it's like, oh man, I love going to these places. That it's cool.
Traveling sober must be so much easier, like, just all around, especially
It
when you're in a
is.
bus, with people.
It's
It's gotta
oh
be
god, yeah. Highly recommend it. As to the other way, for sure.
Did you get a lot of gifts from fans back then and still to this day? I mean, do you collect stuff like that?
I do. I have a bunch of stuff, man, around the house. Like in my garage, I have so many cool things, dude. Like so many cool fans, like that I would see like over and over again, going back to the and just the people not really like being like creepy, but just
Yeah, just
really
cool.
like respectful and like really just enjoying like your band. And so that's really like heartwarming, man. It's very humbling too, at the same time. So when they give you something, you're just like, oh my god. And so and then say maybe you're in the beginning of the tour, like, how am I gonna keep this like intact? Like I got a month and a half to go, you know. But when you do and you have it and you bring it back, you're like, oh man, I'm so glad that I kept that thing intact. And then sometimes somebody will DM me and I'll video them with the thing that they gave me, and they're like, oh my god, I can't believe you still have them on. It's in the room, bro. I told you I got it. I like doing that because that's cool, man, because they blessed me, and if that blesses them back, that's cool.
Yeah, man, that's so cool, man. You mentioned Ozfest. I saw you guys at Ozfest in Atlanta, and I saw
Uh,
this flyer. I framed it, but I showed Sunny, but it was at Ozfest. I was like, how cool is that,
which
man?
one? Which Ozzfest?
It was
We did
ooh,
two.
probably your
Who was
first
on it?
one.
Oh, okay.
It was
That's
yeah, I
crazy.
can't.
So
That's a good
that was on the
question.
fundamental one.
Okay, it was the one where Jesus had the dreads in the background. It was like
That's the first one, the first
yeah,
Ozzfest we
that's when
did.
I was there. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And I thought you guys put this out, and then I talked to Sonny, and he's like, "We didn't put that out. Probably fans did." I was like,
yeah.
"Well, either way, I kept all these years and framed it."
That's
But
cool, dude. That's
being at
dope.
like, thanks, dude. Being at like Ozfest and seeing Jesus with dreads, I was like, "That is so sick, man. Really cool."
Yeah. I have that picture in my the original artwork of that the Jesus with dreads in my
You
hallway
do.
down. Yeah.
Who did that artwork, man? That's
My
killer.
brother-in-law's cousin, my sister's husband's cousin, he's from the same neighborhood as us. He does tattoos now.
Does he? Yeah.
Um and he was one of the only artists that we knew, and he was really good, and I was like, dude, let's have this dude. We got like, I don't know, 15,000 dollars to do a backdrop, and we knew we were doing Ozfest, so we needed a big one. They gave us the dimensions. I'm like, let's do this. Let's have him do a Jesus like with dreads, dude. That would be
Yeah.
sick on Ozfest and just throw everybody off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody thought I was crazy, but it came out sick. And I remember getting it, and we opened it. We opened it on the street that me and Sonny grew up on, and it took over the whole freaking street. It was massive. And so we had all the homies come out of the houses, like, what the heck? We're just opening the banner just to check it out, and we're like, we're going on tour, this big stadium tour, and we needed a backdrop. So everybody was coming out like, oh my gosh, you guys are gonna make it, aren't you? It was hilarious.
Yeah, man. It's so cool that just to think like that you're representing Jesus right there in like the place where he's not represented a lot. That
Oh no, that's why
that's
we wanted
so
to do it. That's the
I
whole
love that.
reason. That's the whole reason why I think POD has gotten to like we want. Like my attitude or our attitude has always been to defy what people think rock and roll is. Dude, it's like you can't you're not tough just because you have a devil on your album cover. You
Right.
definitely ain't gonna kick our asses. We know that. You know what I mean? So like what are you trying to do? Who are you trying to prove? You guys are putting up who you want to put up. We're gonna put up who we want to put up and shut up. That's it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
man.
and we love, and I love the shock value of it, of people being like, that ain't supposed to be at the Ozfest.
Yeah. Did you get a
That's
lot of
to
that?
me,
Did you
to me, we were the most rock and roll band there, if you ask me, straight
absolutely.
up.
And
I
then
was
this is did you hear a lot of feedback? Do you remember a lot of feedback
oh,
from that,
yeah,
or did
people were
everybody
talking a
cool?
bunch of crap. We didn't care.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, "Meet me in the parking lot, homie. We're good." And actually, there was
Man.
because that movie was called there was a movie, remember the Fight Club?
Yeah. 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 Mhm.
So everybody was all hyped on that. I would put out like flyers to all the bands like in the catering, like that we would do a bare knuckle brawl like in the parking lot. Whoever's down. Whoever showed up was was Josh from Queens of the Stone Age.
He showed up for real?
And he was way too big. I said, I ain't gonna fight you, bro. You're freaking smashing me down, dude. You're like 3 feet taller than me.
Yeah.
Forget about it. And then we
Yeah, he's
just
from
started
the desert, man. That's a different kind,
laughing.
you
We
know?
just started laughing. But no other band ever showed up.
And, following Satellite, you guys had the what is it, self-titled, right? Following
Payable on
Satellite?
Death, yeah. Payable on Death, yeah.
Payable on Death. Yeah, Payable on Death. That's right.
That was with the first one with Jason Truby on guitar.
Oh, yes. Mark. Yeah, yep, yeah. Mark took a break on that, right?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
took a break. Truby came in. He used to play in a band called Living Sacrifice.
Man, they're awesome. Reborn. I love that album.
Yeah, and we used to tour with them back in the day too. And I remember like we even had the conversation with Marcos. We're like, if we ever get another guitar player, who would you be down with? He's like, Jason. Jason's cool. And we're like, all right. So we remember that. When Marcos took his leave, we're like, let's grab Jason. Let's see if he's available. Number two, let's see if he can do it. Because he had to
Hmm.
adjust his whole life. Like we weren't just a small band at that time. Like we required like a full-time action. You know what I mean?
And you guys are
So
huge at this time. I mean,
yeah,
the pressure to
yeah.
follow up what you just did. It's got to be crazy,
So
right?
he had to leave Little Rock, Arkansas, come to San Diego. He had to do the Matrix. We did the main song for the
Sleeping
Matrix.
Awake. Yeah.
Sleeping Awake. That was his first. That was his first guitar duties with P.o.d.
Was it? That's
I
a
was like,
killer
"Welcome to
song.
the band, bro. We got a big movie we got to do. Let's do this."
No pressure. Yeah.
Yeah, he came through though. It was great, man. Great song.
Yeah, that's a great album, man. And I love even the album you guys did after that. What was it? Testify. I can't
Testify.
remember. Yeah, great album too. Minus Yahoo. That was
Love that
good.
record. Love probably one of my favorite P.o.d. records for
That
me
is.
personally,
Yeah.
just because we just we got a lot of cool, like diverse type of sounds in there. You know what I mean? Um, yeah, with like Modest Yahoo, with Booyah Tribe.
Oh,
Um,
Booyah Tribe. Yeah. Yep.
yep, with those guys, and just
They were on
it's
the Judgment Night soundtrack. I always listened to that back in the day. Booyah
yeah,
Tribe. Faith
and
No More.
it was just like a cool writing experience with Glenn Ballard and stuff. It was like a total different thing. So I enjoyed recording that, writing and recording that record. It was cool.
Do you go back and listen to it a lot,
I love that
or
record. Yeah, I listen to that one a lot.
yeah, man, I love that too. That's good.
Yeah,
I had a question. Like, Angel Disturbance Dance, man. I love this album.
nice, nice.
This was I'm glad it came back out again, first of all.
Yeah,
But it was hard to find, right? Like Spotify
yeah.
didn't have it, like it just disappeared.
Because we had noticed that it wasn't on there, and we were like, started asking why, and they're like, oh, because you guys own the full right, so nobody was taking responsibility for putting it up. We're like, oh, that's all we need to know. Like, we own that whole record, we'll put it on there. You know what I mean? But we were kind of like clueless that we own the whole thing outright, and the label dropped off us. So we're like, dude. So we started talking about re-releasing it and putting it out there on our own.
Yeah,
Which
man.
is which is cool.
I'm glad it's back out though. I love it. I love that you
Yeah,
got a vinyl copy of it and everything.
yeah, it
So,
was great.
you're in another band, the reggae band,
Southtown Generals.
Southtown Generals. Can you talk about
Yeah.
that? Like, how did that happen?
Yeah, so Rasta Tim, he's like this. He's the singer, plays horns and stuff like that. But he was on tour with P.o.d. doing backup vocals for Sonny. He did a couple world tours with us around the world, and he's actually on the live stuff with Katy Perry and all that kind of stuff. And
Oh, that's cool.
me, him, and Sonny grew up together. Always had this love for reggae music. So once we went on a little break, I was like, hey, dude, it's time to like fire up the engines and let's put out a reggae record. So we put out Southtown Generals like in 2010, which is the only record we've ever done, which is crazy. We played a ton of shows, but it's just one of them things where it just worked out where that's the only record we put out. So when we play shows in SD, like everybody shows up and everybody knows all the songs because that's the only thing we've ever put out. And it's funny that you bring them up because we just started writing up. We're just starting to write some new songs now. You know what I mean? Just to
Oh,
leak out.
yeah.
Not like a full record, just like, one at a time with a video or whatever. Just something new for people that listen to Southtown Generals.
How can they find your first album? Is that available
Um,
online anywhere?
it's on iTunes and all that kind of stuff. But
Oh,
the
yeah. Okay. Yeah.
the copy record, I don't think they're getting shipped. I have freaking boxes of them in my garage. Somebody
Yeah.
DMs me their address, I'll ship them out a CD for the fun of it. You know what I mean?
Oh, dude, I may have to hit you up on that.
I'll send you some.
All
And I
right.
got some POD stuff. I got some cool POD records too. That I'll send you if you just
I'll
DM me out.
send you that skate deck. I got the
The
fundamental skate deck.
fundamental.
Yeah, I got a skate
Okay.
deck with that. Yeah, yeah. It's got
Okay,
the
then we'll swap. I'll give you some rare
hey
stuff
man,
and you
this is like tape trader, man. Like what?
I'm down. Yeah.
Just-
Making moves.
definitely
We're
does.
making moves doing
Yeah,
podcast right now. I love it.
definitely. Mikey from Islander sends his love. I'm friends with him.
Oh, nice. Love that guy,
He's
dude. That's what's up.
he's yeah, man. He said you're like one of his favorite drummers. He was telling me.
Oh, thanks, man. Him and his bro, dude. Their new
Oh,
record's awesome
Chris.
too.
Yeah,
New
man.
record's awesome.
Yeah, I love all the stuff they're putting out, man. It's really
Cool.
good.
Yeah, it
And
is.
dude, I've met a lot of I've been backstage and met a lot of people, right? But every time I see Fieldy, I'm always get like starstruck. I don't know what it is with him. I'm just like, oh, I want him to like me.
Oh
Yeah,
man, he's
I'm
funny. He's
not that way
cool.
with a lot of people. Yeah,
He's pretty dang easy going too. The more you get to know him, and so or you don't even have to get to know him. He's a pretty easy going guy. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And right now, and like him just having this time off too with the band, like he really just loves like just freaking writing music and just kicking it at home, watching his kids. You know what I mean? Like
hmm
he's raising his kids. He's got two teenage kids, three. He's got other two that are already grown adults. He's a granddad, and so he's just taking his time, enjoying this time with his kids. The time that's that the band is taking away, a lot of times that the bands take away from you and stuff. So you know, I know that he loves just jamming and playing and enjoying life right now. It's cool.
man. So Fieldy wrote a book. When are you gonna write a book? Is that in the works, man? Because you got a lot of good
Hopefully
stuff.
soon, man. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I like to put my thoughts down on paper. You know what I mean? Whenever God tells me it's the right time, you know what I mean, and I don't seem like a try hard or anything like that. You know what I mean? Just if it comes out naturally, that'll be great. I would love to do
oh,
something
I'd
like that.
love that. Yeah, I
Nice,
love
man.
Audible, man. So I love hearing like listening to books too. You know, I know
Yeah,
Fieldy
that's
put
cool.
his some. Yep.
Sweet.
Um, do you ever talk to? I mean, obviously the POD guys are your family, so I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you
Funny,
obviously keep in touch with them, man.
funny. Yeah,
Everything on good terms, like with that, or you don't have to
yeah.
say, or
Everything.
I know it's
Yeah,
family.
man. I mean, nothing's like in on bad terms. You know what I mean? It's more just
Yeah.
like we're having space right now.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, like, man, like being on tour for 30 years, starts to take a toll on anybody in different ways. You know what I mean? I don't care
Yeah.
who you are. For me, it was obvious that it was that time for me to like take a break from the traveling. You know what I mean? And doing the
Yeah.
whole just the circus, over and over again. Like I don't think I was like built to do it any longer at the time. You know what I'm saying? So it was time for me to
Mm-hmm.
take a break. Um, and that's where I'm at right now. You know what I mean? Love the guys. Always gonna love the band. Like the band's, I started the band in my garage. You know what I mean? It's a part of my
Mm-hmm.
life. It's a part of my family. And, it's part of all the love that I got. So, I'm always gonna be, you know, center right there. With the guys knowing what's going on and everything like that. And whenever God, wants me to come back, then that's what's up for me. And that's
Yeah.
where I'm at right now.
Man, that's awesome, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that. I could. Yeah, touring now with family and kids. That's got to be rough, man. Yeah.
Now I got a grandson. You know what I mean?
Oh, you do. How old's your grandson?
He's 7 months now.
He's
So
brand
that's
new.
been yeah, he's
Yeah.
brand new. So it's been awesome like watching him like grow and like watching my son like become a father and like you know what I mean? Like all these things are new for me too. So like I really enjoy like being present and like being here in San Diego, watching him go down. My son's a firefighter, so he's going through the whole firefighter thing and just watching
Yeah.
my kids, you know, take their lives and the shape of their lives go. And it's like, you know what I mean? Like I don't always want to be gone from those kind of things, which I was
Yeah.
for a majority of their lives, you know what I mean? Which is hard. And
Mm-hmm.
in some way it takes a toll on you, whatever way that is. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's good for me to be home right now.
Yeah, you get to see him now, and
Yeah,
I'm sure
totally,
they
man.
love that.
Love it.
Do they play
Yeah.
drums? Do any of the kids?
Both my sons play drums, and all three of them play drums. My middle son's the best.
Dude, that you won. That's awesome.
My oldest son is an amazing guitar player.
Oh,
So
that's so yeah.
they jam every time they come here. They all jam out. My daughter jumps on the kit. Like she plays really good. I've been trying to tell her, dude, you need to like play more. Like people love female drummers, dude, and you got like a
Oh,
cool
yeah.
look. She's just like, that's cool. I just like having fun. I'm like, all right, whatever. I'm like, make a career of it. I'm just joking. Be like your dad. Don't.
Oh, man, you lucked out, man. Because my kids, like, they play a little bit, but they have their iPads, and they're so distracted, it's hard to get to, like, just put that down
With
and play
that
some
kid
music.
in their house right there, dude, I'd be a madman.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Are they allowed? Tell me the truth. Are they allowed in there?
No, yeah, 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 but yeah, they play. Especially what happens is their friends come over, and then
Uh-huh.
suddenly I'm cool again because their friends come
Yeah.
over and go, "Oh,
They're like,
this is cool."
"Oh, come check out my dad's kid down in
Yeah,
there."
that's when they
Yeah.
get like that way. Yeah,
And then all of a sudden you're like, "Oh, all of a sudden you like playing drums now,
yeah.
huh?
Yeah,
Because one of your
exactly.
buddies
Okay,
jumped on it and he's having more fun than you usually do, huh?"
100%. You nailed it on that, man.
Exactly. Yeah.
Dude.
I know what's up.
Well, man, I appreciate you doing this, man. This is really cool. I grew up a huge POD fan. I didn't want to creep you out because I have so much POD stuff. So I was like,
No, that's cool,
you know,
dude. I
maybe
think
like
that's freaking
look at all
awesome.
my stuff. Yeah.
No, I love it. I love your room back there. Before
Thanks,
before
man.
we before you signed on with me, I was already like looking around, seeing all the stuff. I'm like, okay, he's got all kinds of stuff back there. All right.
Dude, if you're ever in Atlanta, you should stop by, man. I had Sunny over here before one
Okay.
time. It was cool. But,
I'll
yeah, you're
definitely
always
hit you up.
welcome.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, man, and, I'll keep in touch, and I'll send you, that we'll do a little trading off, man. I'll give you the skate deck
DM me, dude, and
of your
I'll send
bed.
you some stuff. I'll send you some stuff.
Absolutely,
And I'll
man. I
send you and I'll
appreciate
send you I'll send you like some Stillwell stuff too, a whole bunch of dope Stillwell stuff.
that
Bro, it's
means
cool. I'm
awesome. That's
looking at
awesome,
your
man.
room. You gotta have some dope Stillwell stuff back there too, man.
Dude, I will, man. I'll hang it
We
up,
got
bro.
action figures, we got all kinds of stuff. We got skateboards, all kinds of stuff. It's cool.
Yeah, you guys market great. I've saw some of that. That's really
That's
cool,
fun.
man.
That's fun. It's
Yeah,
fun.
yeah.
We're like, hey, dude, what do you guys want to do some action figures? Yeah, that'd be cool. All right. And we just do it.
I
Nuts.
love that, dude.
Yeah.
Alright, bro. Well, it's good having you on, man. I'm gonna, we'll have to hang out sometime and,
Yeah.
trade off, man, for real.
Absolutely, man. DM me your info and your sizes, and I'll send you a little care package, dog.
I appreciate it, brother.
Right on.